Hey, everybody.
Hey, we're back at the beach.
We are.
Hey, didn't you used to have a Tesla?
Yes, I did.
We should talk about that.
And we got a lot more to talk about. And all of this on 5 Acre Tech.
So you turned your Tesla in. Why would you do that?
Well, this is going to be a long story. I'm going to make it as short as possible. But before we do that, just a kind of brief update. When you go to Disney in Florida, Hollywood Studios, and you go to Batu, which is where Star Wars is at, and then you go to Oga's Cantina, you can try to get all you can of these. And these are coasters. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get the blurriness out. Got to do it right here. And this one has a Rancor. They're nice collectibles for your house. And when you're really nice to the waitress, you get a load of them. Yeah, there are a ton of these things here. So I just happen to have these in my jacket pocket. And I was like, man, I got to share that.
Nice.
But the other thing, Apple Vision Pro.
Blowing up.
It is blowing up like crazy. And it is absolutely cold out here.
No, it's not. It's beautiful,
It's
Adam.
perfectly cold. And Apple Vision Pro. So I found today that I can actually go and do a demo, a 25-minute demo. So I'm going to go to the store, do a 25-minute demo. I think you have to go online and make an appointment. Yes, make an appointment and do that. So
I've been seeing several people say that on reviews doing that.
So this coming weekend, I plan on doing that from the time you see this. So we'll see what happens. But
cool.
But back to my Tesla. Yes, I had a Tesla a few years ago. During COVID, I bought a Tesla Model Y. I think I've mentioned it before. And it was awesome. It was actually going to be my first attempt to do YouTube videos. And I got everything ready. I used that mount that held the camera on a couple of our last episodes. I bought all sorts of equipment, sound equipment, was going to use my phone, got some video equipment. I was ready to go. I get there, I get the car, I'm driving back. I'm saying, okay, I'll drive back. And I pulled over to get to charge, which I didn't think I was going to have to, in another city between Corpus and San Antonio. I think George West may have been close to it. And all of a sudden, I need to charge. And I know there's a charger there. So I'm like, why do I have to charge so soon? I already got a charger set up at home, prepped everything. So I get home. I get to the charger, and I'm charging there. I'm standing there looking over the car. Just got it. Literally picked it up in the San Antonio Tesla. And it was really foggy on the way home. And I opened up the trunk area of the Tesla Model Y, second run. And I got water. Literally got water in the back where the latch of the trunk goes. And I'll try to provide some pictures as I talk about this to pop up. For those people on YouTube. So I'll pop some pictures in, show you the water. And every time it rained, every time I got in fog, which it took me quite a while to figure out, where this problem was coming from. I would go chase rain clouds, and then I realized, no, it's everything. Anything that can cause moisture was coming in somewhere on the trunk lid hatchback of the Tesla Model Y. Had no idea why. So not only that, I'd taken the car back several times for fit and finish. They could not align the doors properly. It looked horrible. It got better, but they got to a point after they finally fixed the trunk lid that they just said, no, we're not going to fix anything else. It all goes within our guidelines. And I'm like, you know what? This is the last time I'm coming here. I'm going to trade it in. So I literally traded in for the Ford that you saw in the beginning of this video, if everything worked out right. Otherwise, I'll provide a picture for that. And I was done, which was almost a year in going through that. So I probably had taken it in between the Corpus store for lots of different things and the San Antonio store maybe 10 times. I'm a reasonable person. This truck's been in a few times, but it's mainly warranty work. Things stopped working. Things didn't, for example, my PowerPoint or my power inverter stopped working on this truck, and they were able to figure that out. It took a while. Somebody finally figured it out, and we got a fix for it, and they fixed that. But Tesla was kind of not, to the point of wanting to do that. The other thing that happened that was not good was I worked in a small city in the middle of nowhere, almost by Laredo. They were going to build close to that city a Tesla charger. I was excited because that's where I work, in those two cities, one next to it. So I was like, okay, you sure this is happening? It's on the website. It's going to happen. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy it. They told me where it was going to be, everything. Well, it didn't show up. So as they're building SpaceX in Boca Chica, one shows up there the following year, which is a few months later, and that one disappears in that city. And I'm like, in the other city. And I'm like, no, I cannot make it. This is only 140 miles or 100 miles to one location, 125 to the other location, total from my home. And I could never make it to both without having to leave early to get back to the Kingsville charger to get home. Never would work.
That's a bummer. Just too far of a distance to drive.
It was a 315 or 28 mile
South
range.
Texas heat. In South Texas heat with the AC going, right?
AC going.
Yeah.
The truth about battery life is ugly. It's not what you think. That number that you get is not what you think. Now, was this the best car I've ever owned? Absolutely. As a car, as a fast car, as a comfortable car, as a luxury, even though it wasn't the luxury Model S or a Model X,
right?
It was a fantastic car. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I loved it. I hated to part with it, but I had more trouble with that.
Well, if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, you're having to drive such a distance. So anyone who's in town or, those types of situations where they're close by charging stations, it's going to be great for them. But someone like you, in extreme heat, driving long distances, just didn't fit your lifestyle. And
here in Texas, we drive 70, 75 miles an hour, depending on what roads you're on. Most of mine were 75. So, it would just drain down the battery. If I took it at 50 one time, and I literally got home with no problem. I didn't even have to charge. 55 actually it was, and made it all the way home, no problem. Got plenty of range. And drove out there normal, as I normally do, but I drove home at 55, made a lot of people mad. But for a small city or a large city, and you're not traveling very far, it's an awesome car to have. I mean, it is fun. It is gas saving, environmentally friendly. I mean, cool. There's no reason not to get it. Yeah. For long traveling, wouldn't recommend it. I don't even know what it did to the batteries. Just really don't even know. Very sad. I really wanted to keep that car. But sometimes you just have to. But what really kind of ruined it for me was the attitude of most of the people that I dealt with from the Tesla service station where they work on your cars. I mean, they were not very friendly about it. There was a couple people there that were friendly. They weren't in charge. But, I guess that's just everywhere. But I also wrote a letter back to Tesla from the guy I had to deal with in order to purchase it, to get my loan, to get all the paperwork done. I called him several times, told him about what was coming, never responded, emailed all sorts of people, never got a response. And that was mainly off of the fit and finish, the leak in the car, which put lots of water in it. Probably at one point up to a half a gallon of water was in the back of my car. Yeah. And especially the fact that I was told I can drive to these locations and get home without even charging a second time. Well, that wasn't true. So never got a response from them. Don't know if they ever do, but it just seemed like they just really didn't care. And I hate to say it, I'm not here to bash them in any means. It's an incredible car.
Yeah.
I would do it again if I lived in an area where I needed a third car. My wife's got one. I have a truck. I don't need a third car.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But I would recommend it. Recommend if you're not traveling far distances or you're on a good path with a lot of Tesla chargers. If you're making a trip,
yeah,
it was pretty fun.
Cool.
So,
you done talking about Teslas?
I'm done. I'm all done.
What do you want to talk about now?
Well, how about Apple CarPlay?
Apple CarPlay.
Apple CarPlay.
It's pretty cool stuff that they got going on.
The new version, the 0.4 coming out any day now, is going to have a lot of really cool features. And I think it's going to upgrade the look of it. They usually do that once a year, and kind of like Tesla does. But you can't get Apple CarPlay in a Tesla. I guess if you have a separate device, you could probably do that. But they're also making it where it will take over all the gauges, and that will
with your phone.
With your phone. And, well, it's going to be native, and then your phone will connect to the rest of it, but it's going to be in there. And right now, it's Aston Martin and Porsche that have it.
That's the only downside. Those are the two cars, but they're all going to jump on board like anything.
Yep. It's going to actually be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really,
lots of distractions going on.
Yeah. Where are we?
I think we're at my daughter's graduation party.
Well, we better keep this short because it's going to get loud here pretty quick. Even though we have noise cancellation on, actually it's not on. I'm going to turn it on. And now it's on.
Hopefully that's better. So you won't hear so much clanking and crap. Clonking.
Yeah. But back to Apple CarPlay. So it'll actually do everything. It's going to be a new system similar to Apple CarPlay where they're going to make all the screens in the vehicles where it's going to be this awesome system. So you can have all your gauges, all your warnings, everything, adjustments, kind of like a Tesla, to be honest with you.
And start your car from the phone?
You can start your car from the phone, everything from the phone.
It's pretty cool.
So it's an environment that Apple's been working on. It's going to be incredible.
Sounds
I can't wait. I really can't.
I was looking to see what Android Auto was doing right now. And all of this is released at the CES, right?
I'm not sure. I did not read
the article
that.
The article I was reading was about Android Auto and what new features of it for that were released in CES. And it wasn't anything super exciting. Not like the Apple CarPlay, which sounds pretty cool.
But I think the look of it and some new features will probably get turned on to everybody who's got Apple CarPlay on their vehicles right now in a minimal way. But we're going to have to see what every manufacturer does. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't really know how that works, it just goes from your phone into the car's infotainment system, and then it just pops up on your screen. So it's pretty incredible.
Sounds pretty cool.
So it's really operating on your phone. It's not installed inside. Just a link.
Right. I did see that GMC was actually pulling it for some reason. I think all this stuff is negotiating employees. They don't want, you know what I mean? So it'll be around. It's way too cool of a thing to not be added on as many cars as possible. It's about negotiating.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. So we'll just see what happens on the next version. I think it's 17.4.
And when is it coming out? It wasn't.
It didn't say, but it could be whenever 17.4 comes out. We're at 17
later this year,
0.31 or 3.1. Yeah. So it'll be soon.
Cool.
It'll be definitely soon.